back on the Good Morning Artesia radio show. I had just checked a voicemail from a listener who heard my segment on the New Mexico, and she was like, all for it. You know,
there you go.
It's a great idea. So, and it's Aaron and I kind of came up with it. Matter of fact, I think he's either got a Facebook page or a web page for New Mexico, and we may just have to take it serious and get after it. But our plan was to take Eddy County, Lee County, Chaves County, Lincoln County, Otero County, and just break away and form our own state. We might even take Roosevelt and Curry, which would bring in Portales and Clovis. And so basically from Clovis to Ruidoso to Alamogordo would be a whole nother state. And
that would be interesting.
We just break away, and we take the permanent fund money with us, and we just say to the rest of New Mexico, y'all live on wind and solar, and y'all live on tourism and pot, and we're going to have oil and gas. We're going to build a nuclear power plant out here, and we're going to supply energy. You know, so when New Mexico finds they can't keep the hospitals running.
Yeah.
They can't, you know, the state's going to have, New Mexico's going to have all electric vehicles, so they're not going to be able to get around the state. They're not going to be able to, you know.
It is still so stupid.
When they're, and then they're not going to have enough electricity to charge all the state electric vehicles because the wind doesn't always blow and the sun doesn't always shine. And they're going to be sitting there, our governor and the governor of California are going to be saying, what are we going to do? New Mexico's going to raise our hand and say, we have energy for sale.
There you go.
How much would you like?
Yes.
And we'll drill, we'll mine, we'll farm, we'll ranch, we'll cut trees. We'll do all the stuff that we can to take full advantage of our natural resources.
Yeah.
And we will become an energy provider for states like California and Oregon and New Mexico that decide that while it's bad, we still need to have electricity. So that's our plan. And then we'd have, we were toying with the idea of having the state capital in Roswell, since that'd be kind of centrally located there. We'd have 2 senators, because every state has 2 senators, and we'd have 1 congressperson. And since we'd be taking in Otero County, we'd be more than happy to have Yvette Harrell run to be our congresswoman. Yeah, obviously she's got to run. Somebody else may want to run, but she wouldn't have the redistricting crap that she's dealing with now. And then we'd have our own education department. We'd have the power would be in the hands of all the school districts. The state school board would just be responsible for distribution of funding to make sure all the funding is good to all the schools. And that's it. There'd be no CRT, no masks, no none of that kind of stuff. Our state association athletic association would have, a couple of divisions for the athletes and competitions and stuff like that. And, and we wouldn't charge a toll for New Mexicans to come into New Mexico.
Right.
We'd only charge them when they leave.
Well, we could be fairly well self-sufficient.
Yeah. We'd have tough law enforcement. If we had to build a wall, we build a wall. It just, there's so many wonderful things that would come around. Would it be perfect? No.
No, because none of it is perfect.
None of it is, and you're not going to make everybody happy.
No.
But we would have a better chance of having an elected government that would be more representative of the hopes and wishes and dreams and thoughts and concepts of the people that lived in this part of the state than what we have now, which is totally crazy.
Yes.
And we'd have a much better energy policy. Any of this, New Mexico would have to really dig in on their air quality standards, because we're just going to, we're not going to care.
We're going to have cows.
We're going to have cows, and the cows are going to fart,
Whoopee.
We're going to drill for
oil. Did they
oil.
think dinosaurs didn't fart?
Exactly.
Back in that's the dumbest thing ever. What about people?
I know.
Do we not outnumber cows?
Not in Chaves County. There's more cows than people in
Okay.
Chaves County.
But still, I mean, think about it.
Yeah.
You know, that's right up there with stupidity.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to keep an eye on Oregon because, like I said, there's 2/3 of the state of Oregon that wants to break away from Oregon and join Idaho.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're going to keep an eye on that, see how well they
See
do.
how it comes out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be interesting.
Both legislatures have to approve it. So the Idaho legislature and the Oregon legislature has to approve, 2/3 of Oregon joining Idaho. And according to the article, Idaho's like, come on, we'd love to have you.
All right.
And I wouldn't be surprised if there's enough wackos in Oregon that would say, we don't need them. They're holding us back from our socialist utopia. Let them go.
Yeah.
The problem in New Mexico is while they are stupid, they're not dumb. If New Mexico happens,
Yeah.
state of New Mexico has no money for their socialist utopia because all of the revenue that the
Comes
state
from
uses
us.
comes from us. So, and I don't think they have that situation in Oregon. I think the people in Portland and Bent and the west coast of Oregon, they look at that western side and say, why is he even a part of Oregon? We need to get rid of it. It doesn't add anything or contribute anything. I think their revenue probably comes from the west coast. But in New Mexico, that would be a real problem for our state politicians.
Yeah, because, we had money before our, quote, governor took office. I have to think carefully of what I want to call her. Yeah, and she turned on a faucet like it was water and money was pouring out. And then she tried to control oil and gas. Well, I don't know what the heck she was thinking as to where that money came from. But now she's just throwing it again and buying votes.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're sitting there thinking that that's not what she's doing by giving all this money away, you have a serious mental problem.
A lack of knowledge, for sure.
Yes, because that's what she's doing.
Yeah.
Oh, let me pay for this, and let me give you this, and let me give every person in the state extra money from this,
Yeah.
which she mentioned came from oil and gas.
Yeah.
You don't think that's buying votes? Oh, she helped our business. I just wanted to throw something at the television during the interview or the debate the other
Well,
night.
and she took all the Biden money, the COVID Biden money, and dumped that into the tank that the faucet is pouring out of.
Mm-hmm.
And she got into a little bit of a tussle with the legislature over that. The legislature, for just a brief moment, for just a very brief moment, looked up and said, Governor, we're supposed to have a little bit of say-so with this.
Yeah.
And she said, really? Come on.
Yeah.
Don't you know who I
can
am?
do what I want.
Yeah. So, hold